There's a thought that shows up quietly, usually when no one's around. You're driving, or you're lying awake at 2 a.m., or you're standing in a kitchen that you paid for in a life that by every measure is working, and the thought just surfaces. I don't even know who I am anymore. And it scares you because you're not supposed to feel this. You're the capable one, the one who has it together. So you push it back down and you keep moving. We've all felt this. I want to tell you what that thought actually means, because it's not a breakdown and it's not you losing it. It's one of the most important signals a person can get. And once you understand it, it stops being frightening and it starts to be useful. I'm Fran Harper. I'm an identity architect, and this is exactly the work I do. So let's get into it. Here's the first thing to understand. Feeling like you don't know who you are doesn't mean you've lost yourself. It means you're between selves. We're taught that identity is a fixed thing, that somewhere in your 20s you found yourself and that's just who you are now forever. So when the person you've been starts to feel unfamiliar, you panic because the story says that's not supposed to happen. But that story is wrong. Identity isn't something you find once and keep. It's something you build and rebuild across a life. And every real rebuild has the same uncomfortable middle, a stretch where the old version of you has ended and the next one hasn't quite arrived yet. That gap is where I don't know who I am anymore lives. And it is scary. You're not broken in that gap. You're not failing. You're standing in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Of course, it's disorientating precisely because something real is changing. The discomfort is the process, not the problem. Now, everyone passes through identity shifts, but high achievers tend to hit this one like a wall. And here's why. When you're driven, you tend to build your sense of self out of roles and output. I'm the founder. I'm the one people rely on. I'm the high performer, the strong one, the achiever. Those roles are clear, they're rewarded, and they're load-bearing. Your whole identity rests on them, which works beautifully right up until one of them shifts. The kids grow up, the company sells, the marriage ends, or the title changes, or you simply achieve the thing you organized your entire self around, and suddenly the role that was your identity isn't there to stand on anymore. And because you stacked so much of who I am onto what I do, when the what changes, the who goes into free fall. That's why the most successful people often have the most violent version of this. They didn't build an identity and a set of roles. They let the roles become the identity. So when a role falls away, it doesn't feel like losing a job or a title. It feels like losing yourself. If that's you, that's not a character flaw. It's just architecture. An architecture can be rebuilt. And here's what almost everyone does when they hit this and why it backfires. The discomfort of not knowing who you are is so unpleasant that people rush to fill it fast. They grab the nearest available identity just to make the feeling stop. A dramatic reinvention, a rebound, a brand new goal to chase anything to feel solid again. I call this grabbing the first exit. And it almost always leads to a version of you that fits just as badly as the last one because it wasn't chosen. It was grabbed in a panic. The other mistake is the opposite. Freezing, deciding the blankness means something's wrong with you, and waiting, stuck for clarity to magically arrive. It doesn't. Clarity isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. So the work isn't to escape the gap as fast as possible. It's to use it, because the gap, uncomfortable as it is the only place a new identity can actually be built on purpose. So let's make this practical. When I don't know who I am anymore shows up, here's where to start. 3 moves. 1, separate who you are from what you do. Take the roles you've been living inside, the founder, the provider, the strong one, and write them down. Then ask, if this role disappeared tomorrow, what would still be true about me? That question feels terrifying at first, and then it gets interesting, because what's left when the roles fall away, that's the actual material you build from. Stop asking, who was I? And start asking, who am I becoming? Most people in this gap are trying to get back to a self they've outgrown. And that's like trying to fit back into clothes from 10 years ago. The discomfort you're feeling is not a sign to retreat. It's a sign you've grown past the old shape. The question isn't, how do I find the old me? It's, who is the next me? And what does she or he need? And then 3, choose one value and act from it this week. Identity isn't rebuilt in your head, it's rebuilt in evidence. Pick one thing that matters to you, not to your roles, but to you, and take one small action from it this week. That action is a vote for the person you're becoming. Stack enough of these votes and the blankness fills in, not with panic, but with something you actually chose. That's identity architecture, not finding yourself, building yourself deliberately in the gap. So the next time that thought surfaces, I don't even know who I am anymore, I want you to hear it differently. It's not a sign you're falling apart. It's a sign an old version of you has done its job and the next one is waiting to be built. That's not a crisis. That's an invitation. And most people never get a clear enough signal to accept it. You just did. You built the life, and quietly, something at the center of it no longer fits. The work now is rebuilding who you are on purpose. If this is landing, start with the free identity reset audit. It's linked right below, and it'll show you exactly where your current identity is costing you and what to build instead. And subscribe. I'm here every week for people in exactly this moment. I'll see you in the next one.